Happy birthday, Mr. Smithers. No, it's not Smithers' birthday, but we are celebrating a birthday. And I know technically you're going to say, well, today is March 2nd. March 3rd is when the Nintendo Switch turns 8, and it's March 3rd in Japan, pal. It's March 3rd somewhere in the year, and we're celebrating it today. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of videos that go up tomorrow, talking about the system itself, talking about the highs and the lows, the games. Oh, we need a Switch 2 now. Cliche stuff, and that's cool. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a different video because I feel like, for me personally, the Nintendo Switch, it's corny to say it, but it's really changed my life. And, as much grief and, BS that I give Nintendo with stuff, which is completely well-deserved, to think about the first video game I ever played, 36 years ago, being a Nintendo Entertainment System, and how, this company, changed my life, and, their latest system changed my life. I don't know, I thought it would be kind of interesting to do a little bit of a retrospective, and then, maybe we'll talk about, the games and stuff like that towards the end of the video. But I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit different because I feel like, my story with the Switch is very different than most people's story. So if you've been around for a while, you probably know the gist of this, but, we get new people here all the time. When I started this channel, RGT85, this was a product of, which was really Retro Gaming Tube 85. This was a product of me working for Nintendo Enthusiast, writing, doing videos on their YouTube channel, and realizing that I also wanted to talk about some other stuff. I wanted to talk about Sega and Xbox and PlayStation. And at that time, we didn't have a bunch of different branching channels and stuff like that. It was just myself and Jason and a few others who would help out on Nintendo Enthusiast. So I made this channel kind of under their blessing. And, as time went on, I would make videos on here. Some of them would do well, some of them, not so great. But my plan was always to, take the money that I was making from Nintendo Enthusiast and take the money that I was making from this channel and hopefully have enough money to try and do this as a full-time thing. It was a pipe dream. It wasn't something I ever necessarily thought was going to be a reality, but it was something that I was determined to do. And if you know anything about me, if I really want something, I'm very stubborn and I will go through hell and high water to get it, and there's really no sort of stopping me with this sort of thing. And then the Nintendo Switch came out, and the run up to it, I should say. And as I was doing stuff on Nintendo Enthusiast talking about the Switch, that was under a brand. Whereas with this, I could just talk about it, very off the cuff, not worrying about representing them. It was just my thoughts and opinions on stuff. And I started, doing some Switch content on this channel. And, there's a reason why people call me a Nintendo YouTuber, because when the Switch came out, I saw how things were going for the channel. And I saw that, people were genuinely interested in what I had to say about the Nintendo Switch, about what I had to say about the games, whether they were, small indie games or larger games, big AAA games. People were hungry for stuff like this. And somehow, some way, by me making videos on it and covering it and talking about it and talking about the games and reviewing the games and playing the games and showing off gameplay, things just absolutely took off for me. And I kind of sit back and wonder, because it came out in 2017, and by the end of 2017, I had made the decision to go full-time on YouTube. And I was going in February 2018, like we talked about, in the video a couple of weeks ago. February 2018 was when I went full-time on YouTube, less than a year after the Switch came out. And if it wasn't for the success of the Nintendo Switch related content on this channel, I don't know that I would be in the position that I'm in. Do I think I would have eventually made it as a full-time YouTuber? I do. I do to some degree. Call it self-confidence, call it cockiness or something like that. But I feel like, there's a reason why people watch my videos, and it's because of my takes on stuff, whether they agree with me or disagree with me. It's my personality, this, that, and the other. So I do think eventually, eventually it would have happened, but I don't think it would have happened as quick as it did. And I don't think it would have been as lucrative for me as it was, to the point of, where I am now. And looking back to when the Switch first came out, in the house that I was renting at the time in North Carolina, where the air conditioner went out, and my landlord would lie to me and tell me that she sent someone out there. And I know she didn't, because I would set up traps around the air conditioning unit to see if people actually showed up, and they never did. So she would knock off some money off my rent. 2 of the bedrooms didn't have doors on them and stuff like that. To, owning my own place now and all this sort of stuff, I have to thank Nintendo for a lot of this, and the Nintendo Switch, and you guys for watching that content and still being interested in it, still being interested in me. I know a lot has changed over the past 7-8 years. I feel like, most of the changes have been for the better. You might disagree with it. If that's the case, maybe you just don't like me anymore, and that's cool. But I feel like, I'm at a place now where it's genuinely exciting to see what the future holds. Obviously a lot of channels that primarily focused on the Switch have come and gone. Some of them have been very successful. Some of them saw some success, and then, it died off and mistakes were made. But, without the Switch, and without people being interested in what I had to say about the system, I don't know where I would be at in life. So, it is a happy birthday. It is a happy 8th birthday. Now, in saying all of that, I'm ready for that system to fall off a cliff. All right, I haven't touched my Switch in a while. There is some stuff coming out for it. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive I'll play. Terminator I'll also play on the Switch, because it just kind of feels right with Terminator 2D. But I'm ready for the new system. And with that new system, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I hope that I manage to achieve, at the bare minimum, the same level of success that I had with the Switch 1, at least to some degree. I feel like I'm better equipped now, because I don't have a day job. I was doing all that with a day job. So my primary focus wasn't just this, whereas now I'm locked in. I'm ready. But would this have been possible without the Switch? Would this have been possible in the amount of time without the Switch? I don't really think so, man. So, as corny and as cliche as it sounds, like, thank you, Nintendo. But maybe thank you to you who watch the videos, because there's a million people out there that make the same content I make. They talk about the same games. They might have different opinions than me, and they're probably not as bold and as brash, but there's a million people doing what I do, especially on YouTube. And for you to take the time out of your day, whether it's every day or once a week, or you just watch a video that interests you, that means a lot, man. That means a lot. I don't ask for nothing but your time. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I still respect you at the end of the day, as long as you're not a dickhead. And if you are, I'll just roast you. And I mean, I'm probably going to win the roasting. Let's be real. But yeah, so happy birthday, Nintendo Switch. It's time to old yeller you and put you out to pasture. But I got to respect what you've done for me. I've got to respect what you've done for my life. I got to respect what you've done for my family's life, for allowing me to do things and, experience things that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do without the success of those videos and the interest from the fan base. So, go watch all the other Switch videos where they're like, well, this was the peak of it, and, this is where things were really good, and then, there was a decline here. Like, they can all break that down for you. I feel like everyone's going to have the same sort of opinion anyways. Hey, it's time to move on. But I just kind of wanted to reminisce a little bit. It's Sunday. I just got home from grandma's house. late for a lunch. And yeah, I thought this would be a fun video. So let me know. You know what? Let me know in the comments if the Switch made your life, if it did anything to impact your life. I'm going to assume that most people didn't. But like maybe you busted out a Switch at like college or something and a girl was like, yo, what's that? And the next thing you know, you're knocking boots or something. Like that's a positive. That's a positive experience. You know, maybe you made a friend. Maybe you connected with a family member over it. Let me know if it had any sort of positive impact, I guess negative impact too, on you in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.